This is YSM Sports Media. Want to thank you for all your love and support. Really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and click the notification button for all future content. A lot of boxing fans have a limited understanding of what actually goes on behind the scenes, and they don't really care. They're quick to attach ducking or a fighter's scared or a whole outfit is scared based on the limited information that they have and the biased information that they have. Not to mention that fans are inherently biased, but a lot of media outlets are. Which brings me to this particular situation. Eddie Hearn, Eddie's king of the interviews and updates, said they just made an offer to Caleb Plant for an undisputed fight with Canelo Alvarez in I think it was like September either 9th or, my bad, it was September 11th or the 18th. Now, if you do the math on that, that's about what, 9-10 weeks out? Who makes an offer for a fight that you've known that you've wanted since before Billy Joe Saunders, 9 to 10 weeks out? The average camp for a fight of that magnitude is 10 to 8 weeks. So why are you just now making an offer? Remember, you have to have, what is it, a week's worth of promotion that's flying from to the East Coast to the West Coast for press conferences and so on and so forth. So in typical Canelo Alvarez fashion, he's trying to give Caleb Plant a short camp, and which he tried to do. This was like last year when he asked to fight him before. Now, we all know these tricks, the A side, B side, but it's surprising me that this is going under publicized. Like, all I hear is that Caleb Plant is ducking. Oh, watch, PBC's going to duck again. Caleb doesn't want to fight Canelo, but won't acknowledge Canelo's role in this fight may not happening. Like, come on. Fans are selfish by nature. They just want to see the fight, and they really don't have any knowledge of the business of boxing or what goes on in the back doors or contracts. So they're going to blame whoever in their mind or whoever the media sways them to blame for the fight. And if a guy has a cult-like following, like Canelo Alvarez does, they're automatically going to blame the other guy. Automatically. Like, it's never Canelo's fault. They don't hold him to any kind of accountability, except with the Triple G situation. And that was an anomaly because the Mexican fan base actually turned on Canelo and was riding with Triple G. But I doubt you'll ever see anything like that again. But in typical A-side fashion, Canelo is going to either force Caleb Plant to take this fight on short notice, or what I predict, Caleb Plant telling him to go fuck himself. Caleb Plant is an anomaly, and a lot of people don't understand this. Caleb Plant doesn't need Canelo Alvarez. For anyone that actually thinks that Canelo Alvarez is a star in Mexico and a star in the Mexican community, but it hasn't really crossed over to mainstream America because he really doesn't speak English that much. Like, he's just starting to break out of his shell and let off his personality more, and he's definitely hilarious. But the average American doesn't know who Canelo Alvarez is. And Caleb Plant has something to his advantage, is he's white. And the majority of America is white. So he's a white guy that black guys love. And all Caleb Plant needs is the Caucasian demographic in order to be successful. That's all he needs. He doesn't need Mexicans to like him. He doesn't need actual boxing fans to like him. If he can attract the casual white fan, he will be successful in boxing, point blank, period. And I think he knows this. I think his handlers know this. And we're likely not to get this. We're likely not to get this fight, especially if Eddie and Canelo are going to run the A side, B side games And the A-side, B-side games is hydration clauses, limited time to prepare, underpaying. And the fans are just going to jump all on Caleb because Canelo's been fighting names they recognize and Caleb really hasn't. So they're just assume that Caleb's scared. But like I said, no fighter is scared. None. And I'm trying to be as neutral on this topic as possible because I like Canelo and I like Caleb. But I recognize the bullshit. I recognize what Canelo's doing. He's looking for every possible advantage. And make no mistake, Canelo Alvarez is a child of Floyd Mayweather. Whereas though the Mexican fan base really hated how Floyd operated as far as with his A side, B side. But Canelo does the exact same thing, if not worse. But the difference is Floyd's not Mexican. So they're going to be willing to overlook it. And so I'm not buying the better beef news. I doubt that happens. Maybe it happen a year or two from now, but they're trying to use that as leverage to get Caleb to sign. But if we all know Al Heyman really doesn't get pressured into anything. He really doesn't care about what the media says, and he's rather unaffected. I mean, we've seen Eddie use, the media as a tool to spin the narrative and to get what he wants. And we're just going to have to see how the situation plays out. But I think fans need to open their eyes and see what's going on. Like, be neutral. Be neutral. Put pressure on both sides. We're going to see this fight. We want y'all to make this happen. Negotiate in good faith and get it done. And sending an offer 8 to 10 weeks out when you've known you wanted this fight. What was the Billy Joe fight? What was that in March? So, I mean, like, what were you doing for these, 2 months? Like, you should have been sent the offer. You knew you wanted to fight. You knew you the A side. You knew you had the leverage. You could have sent the offer in April. But, like, I know what this is. And fans need to start opening their eyes because the sport that they love is a business. And everybody is looking for leverage. And you got some guys that will buckle under pressure. And you got some guys that don't. And in this instance, we'll see exactly what Caleb and Al Heyman do. And how bad Canelo wants this fight or how bad that Caleb wants this fight. Because a lot of boxers wilt under the pressure. Or not, let me say not wilt. Because Canelo is such a high payday and the biggest payday of their career, they jump at it. That's what Sergey Kovalev did. And he knew he wasn't going to win that fight. It wasn't that much time to prepare after coming off of a grueling fight. But he took the money. And that's what a lot of promoters or fighters who are in the A-side position, that's what they bank on. And so we're going to see if number one, if Caleb had been getting ready this whole time and the money's good, he's likely to take it. But if there's something in the contract that he doesn't like, we're not going to see this fight next. But you let me know in the comments below, do you think this fight happens? And who do you blame? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. YSM Sports Media. We out.